right, guys, good evening. Trev, SmashweRx. We got a whole bunch of fun going on here. We got Fran today, and there's a bunch of people rowing right here, warming up. Some of them are doing it, some of them aren't. This is a killer workout. If you haven't done Fran, try it. Try and get sub 3 minutes. It's gnarly. So we've been getting some people talking about some hip issues, some hip pain, so that's what we're gonna address today. Some hip impingement. Now, if you know how the hip works, there's a whole bunch of muscles that cross that hip joint, and we use these hips for violent hip extension in all of our Olympic lifts. So that's really important to understand because, yeah, I'm just getting comfortable. What happens is when we have that really explosive hip extension, that's what drives the bar up to allow us to punch out into the snatches, into the top of the clean, even through kips and muscle ups, butterfly. All those movements involve a lot of violent hip extension. Glassman said actually that if you have explosive hip extension, you can pretty much master any sport. So it's the truth. So we need to make sure those hips are functioning right. And the problem is, if you look at me right now, you can't see the bottom of my leg, but if my leg is like this, and I'm sitting at a desk, and I'm typing, and I'm on the mouse, and I'm texting, look how short these hip flexors are. What happens is it takes 2 minutes to make a tissue change. So if we're shortening up the psoas, the iliacus, the rectus femoris down through here, and then the hamstrings, the semimembranosus, semitendinosus, biceps femoris, the adductors in here, all 4 of them, we're getting those all short and crispy. The problem is the hips aren't going to work the way they're supposed to. But then we got the QL in the back, and we've got the rectus abdominis in the front, and the obliques, and then all these small muscles in here, transversalis, longissimus. All these things start to glue down and tack down. That fascia doesn't let them work. And what they end up doing, to make it really simple, is 2 things. The hip tends to sit. So if this is the pubic symphysis right here in the front, the ouch bone that we hit when we do snatches, it's going to sit really far forward. We're going to get that anterior pelvic tilt, and we're going to wind up sitting like this with that back really arched like that, because the psoas is pulling, remember, L2 to L5. It's going to yank on that femur, and it's going to pull those lumbar vertebrae like this. And the other thing it's going to do is it's going to pull a hip out of position in the joint capsule itself, so that head of the femur isn't going to sit right in the acetabulum. So what happens is if it's sitting outside, it's a ball and socket joint, so if it's sitting on the outside of that acetabulum, it's going to be grinding away in there. It's not going to have that nice roll, slide, glide the way it's designed. And it's going to start to mushroom out, get all beat up, and get all calcified. And then that joint capsule starts to calcify, and that restricts a lot of movement. Hip problems, we see it all the time. Hip problems are super common. Nothing you want. So I'm going to show you how to take that hip and blow it out of the back pocket and seat it in the back of that joint capsule. And then we're going to take a kettlebell, we're going to floss out the psoas, do all kinds of fun stuff. Then we're going to do something called the basic pelvic balance. It'll find all your hot spots, I guarantee it. You're going to be like, holy moly, Trev, these, ouch, they hurt, but they work. I promise you this. We're going to sit in the hot spot in the pelvic balance stations. 2 minutes a station, so I'll tell you that. I love the yelling in the background. Craig Howard's the one teaching the class today. I won 2013 CrossFit Games, so he's a stud, good friend of mine. Love this guy. So anyway, first thing we're going to do is we're going to trap the hip with a green band. Use a heavy band, and we're going to trap it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see if I can bring this a little closer. I know my camera skills are phenomenal. I'm like Steven Spielberg with my camera. Don't laugh. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the green band. You're going to anchor it on the bottom of the rig. Put your leg all the way through. For guys, watch all your stuff. And then all you're going to do is you're going to pull away from the rig. You're going to take this leg. So I'm going to do it this way. You're going to take this leg, and you're just going to lay into basically a pigeon. Okay, get into that pigeon position. And then all you're going to do is lay down. So just hang out like that. But I want about 80 to 100 pounds of tension on that band. That's going to pull the hip into the back portion of the socket so it sits really tight in that acetabulum. And then you're just going to hang out like this. For how long? 2 minutes. All right, that's number 1. Number 2 is don't get out of the band yet. We're going to go sideways. We're going to do the same thing. You can see, band is right here. We're doing the same thing. We're going to take this leg. We're going to put it behind us. So we're going to take this one. We're going to drop it up underneath like this. And then we're going to pull away. And this one, oh God, this one's funky. This one gets in all those little crispy bits, and then get all the way down to the bottom. Just hang out like this for another 2 minutes, okay? That's gonna pull that hip. You should feel it pushing right out where the back pocket in a pair of jeans would be. It's gonna shove that head of the femur out into the back, okay? That's number 2. That's gonna help really seat that femur, that femoral head, in the acetabulum right in the back where it's supposed to be. Those are the 2 that you're gonna use with the band, okay? Number 3 is we're gonna put you into pelvic balance. So we're gonna take this. Don't worry, you're coming with me. You're gonna come on over here. All right, see if we can do this right here. Good, so my hand is in the way. So what you're gonna do is, you can see me, you're gonna take a band, blue or green is fine. You're gonna wrap it around. You're gonna throw one around each knee. Good. So now what we're doing, use a heavier band than this. I'm just using this for a demo. It's gonna be shoving the head of the femur into the back of the socket, and it's gonna push the knees apart. You're gonna do 3 stations, okay? All right, so you can see me, so that's good. You're gonna bring your butt and low back all the way on the floor. I know I'm being a really contortionist right now, cranking my head like this. You're gonna make sure your feet are only turned out about 5 degrees. Your butt's as close to the wall as possible, and then you're just gonna let those knees fall out, okay? You're gonna hang out like this, 2 minutes, that's number 1. Number 2 is, you're gonna pull away. Remember, this is the pelvic balance. You're gonna pull away, take one leg, make sure it's at 90 degrees to the wall, so butt's away from the wall, low back's flat against the wall. You're gonna take this, and you're gonna cross it over, and then you're gonna sink right back down into the floor. So you're gonna just camp out like this. Do not push on this knee. Don't push on the knee, I'm watching, okay? No pain face on this one. Well, maybe a little pain face. Get your hand here, hang out like this, 2 minutes, okay? Then you're gonna take this, help yourself off. So you're gonna lift your butt, and then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side, okay? When you're done, unhook the band. Watch out, don't get snapped by the band. It'll hurt, okay? So that's the pelvic balance. Remember, it's 2 minutes in each station. So 2 minutes up against the wall, 2 minutes on the right, 2 minutes on the left. Hands represent the knees in case you guys are wondering what I'm doing with the fancy jazz hands. Okay, do that entire thing two times if you can. So that's 12 minutes of mobilization already. Now I'm gonna grab a kettlebell. I'm gonna floss out the psoas. This is a little funky. So you're gonna find the belly button. You're gonna go an inch lateral to the belly button, okay? You're gonna take the horn of the kettlebell. In case you guys are wondering, that's the handle. So you're gonna take this portion right here, and you're gonna let that sink right in here. You're gonna use this as a 44. Try and use a 53, 60, even a 70, or an 88. And you're gonna bend both your knees. You're gonna camp out like this. Give it about 15 to 20 seconds just to sink into that psoas. And all you're gonna do, make sure both knees are bent because it disengages the pelvis. Super important, make sure both knees are bent. Let your head back. The only reason I'm holding my head up like this is so I can see you guys, okay? You're gonna, remember the femur does not track this way, it tracks out and wide. So if you think, come out and wide, I can come a lot higher, then like this, I'm banging into the top of the acetabulum and I'm hitting the kettlebell. So you're gonna come out like this, skate along here. What up? 2. So we're gonna do 15 of these. Super stud athlete. 15 of these, and then you're gonna move it all the way to the other side. 15 of these, same thing, okay? That's gonna floss out that psoas. Dump your kettlebell, roll it off the side, whatever you need to do. All right, let me grab this. So we've got pulling on the back of the rig. Hey, that's gonna pull that, let me get up a little higher. That's gonna pull that hip into the back portion of the socket. Both sides, remember, pull it all the way towards the back, pull it out towards the side. Both of them hang out for 2 minutes. Get on the wall, do that pelvic balance, and then grab the kettlebell, smash out that psoas. There's a couple more things we can do, but we'll stick with this, otherwise it's gonna be like a half-hour video. We'll do some more tomorrow. Hey, I'm Trev, SmashweRx. Unglue those hips, get them working the way they're supposed to. Have a great night, I'll see you guys tomorrow.